All right, guys, it's time to check out another Oris. So this time, thank you, Michael, MM10, from my Discord group for allowing me to check this out, and a few others that you sent over. This is one that, honestly, I had a hard time looking up the information on because this is labeled, if you look at the hang tag here, this Oris pointer date is labeled as Oris Big Crown Original, and it has the plexi crystal. Still at 50-meter water resist. It has a push-pull crown, not a screw-down crown, but it is an oversized crown. And let's just get right into a standard format here. So we're looking at a 40-millimeter case, 48 lug to lug. The thickness, even with that big plexi domed crystal, is only 11.5 millimeter. It's a really thin watch. 20-millimeter lug width, and like I said, a 7.5 millimeter crown. So easy to manipulate that guy. No problems there, and it is a very stout crown. So even when you do pop it out, like it's not, so I've talked about in the past where sometimes when the crown is of this size, that it might snag on something. I really don't see that happening with this one. It was, I mean, you have to like force it out, and then when you do pop it out, like it's a very rigid crown. So like I don't think you're gonna have any problems with that. And in this configuration right here with this really nice leather strap, it is weighing in at 66 gram. Display case back as well. Well, let's actually, while we're talking about the display case back, let's wipe that down so you can see. Let's zoom in and take a look at that case back real quick so you can check out the movement, because that's really a cool feature with the display case backs. Obviously, you have the Oris red rotor. This is a Sellita SW200 movement, and if you look, you can see it says 754 and then 26 JEW. So that's 26 joule. This is their movement. It's called the Oris 754. That's what that 754 is for. So it is, yes, a Sellita SW200, but they modify it so that they can get the pointer date function on it, and then they label it as the Oris 754 movement. But I wanted to point out that it says 26 joules on the movement. Okay, let's look at the dial. The dial says 25 joule. I'm a little confused. The only thing I can think of is because they are labeling this as the quote original, that I'm assuming that the original pointer dates maybe said 25 joule on the dial. So they were paying that homage, that heritage throwback to those original dials. I couldn't find any actual information on that, although much like, you know, when I try to look for something in the closet and I say I can't find it and the wife comes and finds it right away, it might have been one of those cases. I'm sure if I were to have somebody else look for that information, you guys would probably find it right away. So you can see you have the half moon red crescent there pointing towards the date of, like switches. That's kind of confusing because it goes from 8, and I was like, why is it 6? That's a 6, and that's a 6. But it actually switches to the lower portion to 9. That's a little trippy. I never noticed that on these. It's like you have a 6 there and a 6 there, but really it's the numbers flip, so you can see them on the lower portion. That makes sense. I kind of freaked out there for a second. You have the cathedral hand set there. Of course, you have the sweeping seconds hand there, nice thin polished profile, and then all those Arabics on there, 12 through 11, or 1 through 12, kind of goofing that up, I guess. And then on the outer track, you're going to have your 1 through 31 for your date. Not every month has 31 days, just like every other automatic watch. You're going to have to adjust for that on those off months like that. You have that really cool coin edging around the bezel here. Not matched on the crown, but that would be a difficult crown to grip because this is actually rounded off and very soft feeling. All right, let's zoom back out. We'll take a look at this watch on wrist. The retail price, I'll put a link in the description. At the time, I don't think you can get these anymore. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think you can get this model anymore. Was $1,150. There it is on my 7.25 inch wrist. Looks, wears, feels great. To be totally honest, it's not my favorite pointer date. I think there's a lot of people out there that were going to like the clean, classic, traditional look that this one offers. I personally prefer the the more current model runs, like that full bronze one I just had on the show, like that dial, I like that dial more. But that's just me. Everyone's going to have their own taste. Maybe this one resonates with you, and if that's the case, try to find one of these. Maybe this one, actually. So I am going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to blast it a little bit with the UV light because, I don't know. I want you guys to be able to see the loom, and often Oris's loom is actually not spectacular, although adequate. You can see the date is not loomed. The 1 through 12 Arabics are loomed, and then the cathedral handsets are brighter. I think what Oris does here is they use C1 on the dial, and they use C3 on the hands. I think I finally figured that out. That's essentially what they're doing. And, you know, just for the fun of it, here's a loomed hand to show you that I have a loomed pointer finger. And I'm pointing at a pointer date watch. Okay, whatever. I'm done. I'm tired. I'll see you in the next vid.